Hey, good evening, it's Dan here. In this short video I wanted to show you the two ways that I would go around surmounting the most difficult part on the North Ridge of Tryfan, which is the North Tower. Now the reason I'm creating this video is because this is a little bit of a hot spot where people come up the North Ridge of Tryfan, and this is the point where a lot of people realise how difficult it is and they head back down, but they end up inadvertently going onto serious climbing terrain, and that's where sometimes people get a little bit stuck and they end up having to phone mountain rescue. Now there are two ways to get around the North Tower. The direct route, there's a little path that goes around the left hand side into a gully which comes up to the top of the North Tower. So I'm going to show you both of those routes, and I'm going to start off on the most direct route. So I'm at the top of the North Tower, and there's a little bit of a step down into the top of a gully and a step back out, and that pretty much marks the end of the North Tower section, which is the most difficult part on the North Ridge of Tryfan. So I've just stepped down into the top of this gully. You can probably see the gully on that side and the gully on that side, and that's the bit that I've come down. Now I'm going to go back to the foot of the North Tower and show you that alternative route which I mentioned earlier. Hi there guys, I'm back at the foot of the North Tower. This time I'll show you the alternative line which takes the left hand path, which is called the East Traverse Path. Now I'm going to count how many steps I go down this path, and then I'm going to get into the first gully I come across and take that to the top of the North Tower. So North Tower, little hidden path on the left. I'll count the steps. 1, 2. So I went about 130, 140 steps along that path. I eased myself down into the first gully I came across, and from there I'm just going to head straight up to the top of the North Tower. Now there's a couple of little obstacles in this gully, so I'm going to put the drone up, just let you watch me overcome them and make my way up to the top. So I'm near the top of the gully, and it took me less than 5 minutes to get up there. And near the top is the final obstacle, which is the balancing stone. Go on the left hand side and up over. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed that footage, which is the two different routes that you can take to surmount the North Tower, which is the most difficult section on the North Ridge route of Tryfan. Now, which route should you take? I think you're probably best off taking the direct route. That's the route that the vast majority of people will take. That said, I have seen some people struggle on that route, and they found it a little bit easier going into the gully. Don't forget, 130 to 140 steps, and don't descend that gully. It's pretty steep down there. Now, if all of this sounds like it's a little bit too challenging for you, I would suggest that you try going up the south ridge of Tryfan first. It's half the length of the North Ridge, not as steep, and definitely a lot easier in my opinion. Your other option is to find a local mountain guide and get them to bring you out in the mountains, and they can show you the route up the North Ridge of Tryfan just for the first time, so you can get a feel for what this route is like. Now, I hope that you've enjoyed this footage. If you have, please do hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe to my channel.